So today I'm going to talk about how you're gonna make a diagram in a Rhino, architectural diagram in a Rhino, in architecture firm and your school, architecture school. So the first thing I want to mention is the way of making diagram. I think in terms of making Rhino architecture diagram in a Rhino, there's like many different style, but I can differentiate only two style, like very trendy style, I guess, which is um, let me put it like that. Have we have like very European style, like MVDLV or BI Angel, BI architectures, and all the copy architecture style, and the other one is like postmodern, like not postmodern, but a very GSD or Columbia style of diagram, I guess, which you're using not only Illustrator like with the line width, but also you need to Photoshop map the diagrams. So the first example I want to show you is this kind of diagram you can create in the Rhino modeling. You can do it in the SketchUp, but SketchUp producing this diagram is, I think it's you're taking too much time and it's hard to fixing it in or this kind of line weight. And then second one, I guess second diagram, maybe this one. The second diagram now I want to mention is like in this kind of style. They're my friend, but the way of producing their diagram style is you're using a Rhino basic tool, exporting to Illustrator with the render mapping with the render IDs, all the stuff, and you're touching with the Photoshop for the final. So for today's tutorial, I'm going to talk about how you can produce these two different style in the Rhino. I've been watching all the Rhino tutorial. I mean, architecture diagram making a video tutorial. It's all done with SketchUp software. So the reason why I'm giving you this tutorial is because of the Rhino diagram making video is not there yet. So now I'm going to give you this tutorial. Okay, so I'm gonna start right away. So before you start, I'm going to uh, assume that you are all know how to use a Rhino and the bit of the shortcuts and a little bit of the understanding of the Rhino and interface. So I'm not going to talk about all the detail of like how you're creating these like mass or lines and little all the tiny bit of my shortcut detail. Um, so this I'm going to make really fast modeling or modification. So please understanding this my fast workshop. This because this workshop will be focusing on using Vray, Rhino, Illustrator, Photoshop. How you're creating two different style diagram really fast way. Okay, so assume that you have a very perfect detail of the Rhino modeling. So you need to have the Rhino modeling with the furnitures and trees and people. For now, I don't have furnitures and all the patterns and all the stuff. But this is, I think, the basic 3D models that I might need it for making a diagram. So assume that you have all this detailed Rhino modeling, and once you have it, you need to go to Vray. So you need to download the Vray student version or professional version in Vray.com, and click Vray Asset Editor. You need to make sure turn off the Rhino document sun, and you need to put Rhino sun, which is that one. So I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna show you how to put the Rhino sun. So you need to make sure put the Rhino sun when you do the I'm sorry, V-Ray sun when you do the V-Ray rendering. So you need to click you might have window with unchecked manual control box. You need to check it. And not, my view is southeast view, so I'm gonna go southeast direction from, so which means I'm watching my model from here, this direction to this direction. And my sun is actually, this is my this is the, I think this is altitude. So 90 plus 90 degree means your sun is right above your head, and minus 90 degrees like the sun is right bottom of your feet. So I'm going to make like about like 49 degree or 45 degree maybe, and hit OK, and click any point you would like to pick. Then you have a sun coming down from that whatever direction you just selected it, and you go back to the asset editor and click setting, and you need to make sure go to render output and click this button and make sure all these material render element is set it. So you need to just type render ID whatever, then you will have these 7 different render element. The reason why my default render element is those is I'll talk about later, but this is a very basic render element that you need to produce diagram. Usually render output image size, you go with 1500 and 800 for the diagram. So I'll test render it, click it, then okay, see, so your render is coming up pretty well. Okay, so since you have that render element, you have all different render materials coming out. Okay, so, but the most important thing is RGB color and render ID and object ID and shadow, I guess. Okay, so you can just refer this setting, but it depending on what kind of environment, how big your Rhino model is, or depending on your sunlight like sunlight's how do you say sunlight intensity, depending on your sunlight intensity, your render model is gonna look very different. Okay, I guess. So my render is done, so I'm going to hold 2 seconds and go save all image, click. I got a previous renders, saved it here. I'm going to delete everything and save one more time. Sample diagram, click, save it. Once I save it, what happened is you will have all different rendering PNG file will be saved it in different depending on render element. So yeah, I've got 9 different render PNG file with the render element, different render element. So this is first step you need to take, and that's when I'm ready. And then the second step you need to do is drag hold everything except sun, and then type make 2D. I highly recommend to check the maintain source layer. Check these boxes and don't uncheck the hidden line unless you do the explore the axon diagram and hit OK. Okay, select last and Z enter, S enter, okay. TT top view, and you have this line weight. So this is line weight that you definitely needed it. for your diagram. And once you do it, once you're done, you need to. So see, since you the layer, what do you call that? A maintain source layer, your line weight, all this line weight has been changed in. Maintained with as it is, but you have built up like line, like chain, some build up like some line line weight that you need to change it. Before I jump into that, I'm gonna export this. I'm gonna export this to Illustrator. Before I exported it, I'm going to make a boundary of this building. So click everything and curve boolean, curve boolean, hit enter, and click the boundary. Okay. One more time. Curve boolean, hit enter. Click. I'm just selecting the boundary of course, if you prepare your rendering model well, you'll save this time to crop these boundary edges of the building, I guess. Yes, I need that one. Okay, then hit enter, and you just got your boundary outline of the building. Like this. Maybe. Yeah. Yes. Okay. The latest one, I want to differentiate different color of the outline of the building. So create new outline. Hit OK. And I just create the new layer, layer. I'm gonna give a change color to yellow red. I'll tell you why I did this in the next step. And go to export, select it, and sample diagram. Oh shit, no. I don't want to export in Rhino. Delete it. I want to export as Adobe Illustrator. Render sample, save it, hit OK. Now you have a sample render Illustrator file. So see, the reason why I did the boundary of outline of the building with the different color, because you can select only red color separately. So I'm gonna scale that up to 300. Okay, I'm sorry, I'll just go back and so drag everything, hit S and enter, then you can change the scale, and 300. You can change it this. Maybe one more time, 200. Yeah, I think 200 looking good for now. Okay, and now you need to touch up your line weight, I guess. So since you have different layers, so for tree, I'm going to just select everything, click this tree and hit that one, Control G, and you need to group it, and I'm gonna change that color to green. Ta-da! See? And then contours. Maybe I'm gonna keep Control G, change the line weight of the contour, maybe 0.1. And the red one, I'm gonna change back to black, but I'm gonna give a thicker 2 point. And this is water, right? I'm gonna keep it in. You got people here. So I'm gonna select everything now. Select all. Control C. Let me group it first. Control A, Control G, and you group it. Once you group it, all the layer in all the different layer will be merged into one layer. And now I don't need these layers, so I'm gonna delete these from here to here. Delete it, but I'm gonna create a new one, and I just copied it. Remember that? So I'm gonna put new layer. Let me put color. Control Shift V. Then you are replacing same drawing on a different position. So the reason why I'm doing this, separating this line layer with the color layer, because I'm gonna give a color in this layer. So let's see. So this is my basic model. Just in case, I'll just copy one more line weight here. This is backup. I'm not gonna show it to you. I might use it later just in case I lose everything. And now for that one, I'm gonna change every line to black, like grayish, and 0.1. But I still have that line weight because it's the line weight that I copy and paste above this layer is right there. And I'm gonna lock this, and now I'm gonna select all and K, hit the K, and change the color to whatever color I like. Dun 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 dun. Yeah. Before I change it, I guess. Before I color paint, I'm gonna Control A, and all the line weight I'm gonna make it transparent. So I got the line weight background that I locked it in for the sake of saving line weight. And on the color palette, I'm gonna Control A and hit the K button. Select the color of the tree. Color, 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 color. And then maybe I can give a color for the water too. So even if you do this, like, it looks different, right? And now maybe you can do it with so now if you just place it at the previous render sample, it's a RGB sample here. Okay, I'm gonna Control X image, Control Shift V. So this is bugging process because you need to match that line weights and everything. So it's almost matching with that 2D line. Almost. Okay, I think it's almost matched it. Not 100%, but now you locked it. Since you have line weight with it, you can just go back, double click. Maybe I can just give a line weight for the only building here. Yeah. The color, you can actually Control K. Usually give different line weight, but this time I'll just do it a simple way. Okay, water. So yeah, it's okay. I think the better one is you can replace this go link. You can replace this link. So click the link. I recommend you to do the shadow. Oh, it's not good. Never mind. So maybe this is one of the way I recommend, but it's not looking good. So I don't like it. So maybe this is, if you're okay with it, swatch, pattern, texture. Okay. I know what's wrong with this. I have a very sensitive thing happening in my mind. So I'm gonna copy all the layer, Control C, locked it, Control, go to pattern layer and Control Shift V. And I'm gonna make it all white. So I'm going to give a pattern color in this layer, the pattern layer. K, different pattern. Now I feel better. Okay. For the tree, I'm going to get different. I'll just do this. No, that's not pretty. I'm going to do this. Maybe I do all the. It's looking better. And then I'll just keep giving a color. So now this is what I got for the final. I guess this is totally different than what I showed you, I guess, but the concept of making the diagram and this is very similar. And now you just need to export this as JPEG or PNG, whatever. Or you it's a diagram. I think today I'll just stop with it, and I'm gonna show you how to create other version of making a diagram in Rhino next time. Thank you. Bye.